back to the next episode. I think we're on 8 of this series, up to 1914 Elo. Green pieces again. Red, that is a very bad opening. Obviously, just pushing for queens, not very good. Obviously, two squares forward isn't very good. Yellow, this is a good move. This one not as much, but I mean, you can't really say too negatively about it. So yeah, just red's just gonna push for a queen probably, but he does address this opening first. If I put my knight here, he pulls forward. So I'm just gonna do that first. And he's probably gonna go like that. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this. If he pushes, obviously red might come in, and this is actually a checkmate. But that doesn't really happen at this level of chess, so I'm just gonna be playing that. We'll see what people decide to do. I'm just gonna castle for now. Obviously, red can push forward. No, he just decides to push on. Not very good move. Now I can bring my knight back to here. And red's still pushing for a queen. Obviously, blue's got a queen. Just not really developing the pieces. Although red does have a safer king. Blue's is just in the middle. Obviously, if two people are doing this, if my opposite opponent wasn't just being a little numpty, he was actually active, we could very easily take advantage of red's situation, but when the board looks like this, we can't really do much about it, unfortunately. Which is to say, I guess if blue's just making a beeline for a queen, it's probably not the worst idea from red, but I prefer not to. I prefer to just stay normal. So blue's actually not under checkmate threat because of this really weirdly placed knight. Obviously just defends this square, so that is the idea usually, playing that move, but I'm just gonna kick. Oh, I don't want to do that. Probably don't. I probably don't like this. I don't like the knight being there, so we'll kick it. Hopefully it goes. He just comes back, but obviously I've created a threat, so blue is free to do something. Obviously less threatening than a knight, so pawn break. Or you can just block this diagonal while opening up this bishop towards this rook. Obviously yellow just does this, so I'm going to capture. I don't want to allow a check, so I'm just going to capture. And we'll see where we're at, because this is now open. Obviously I need to close this diagonal. And then come and replace this knight as quickly as possible, because this is a key defender, or the knight was a key defender, but the knight was also a key attacker. Especially when it gets around the king, the knight can be very tricky in this game mode. Obviously be careful not to hang this pawn, but I need to keep it there, so I'm going to have to play here. Potentially. And again, yellow is just trying to checkmate blue. But I don't think red will go for it, probably. he's more likely to take knight. Obviously, the best move potentially was to just checkmate blue, but maybe not. Obviously, yellow's gonna get a very nice attack on blue when he recaptures. Fortunately for blue, this queen that he made earlier actually defends, but it's not looking good because red can just drop back, give a check. So I'm gonna try and get some tempo on red, not tempo, but build some tension. Again, bad players just like to see something take something, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he just takes, even though this is a really valuable piece. Potentially the best move is just to push your pawn. Or you can just ignore the threat altogether and do that. Yeah, okay. And then blue decides to just take the free pawn, completely leaving this open. Very bad move. Obviously this is also hanging right now, so I do need to defend that. I am going to take just so red doesn't, because potentially this is just checkmate. Obviously now I get a free knight for my opposite opponent being checkmated, which is not ideal, but blue did just hang checkmate for about 3-4 moves in a row, so there's not much I can do about it at the end of the day. And yellow decides to defend. Bishop obviously being worth more than a knight. Just going to drop back to a fee and kettled position. My queen's probably going to come in here, defend this, and I ideally want to set up sort of a, and then bring this bishop here. How I'm going to do that though without making myself more unsafe is yet to be determined. I think that's probably the best first move to make. Show off this. Obviously defended by the knight, and I can't push this. Oh, okay, so he wants to go into a 1v1 down a queen. Always happy to do that. I can't afford to give any more material up, especially not for free, so I'm gonna have to fork his pieces there. See what he does. Don't think he has a threat. and that's well defended anyway. So I'm just gonna. Ooh, should I just take first? Potentially. Looking for pushing. Obviously that just exposes just a little bit. What can I play? Right, I may as well just look for this. Attacking the rook. Attacking this. I think I'm up enough material now to just simplify it down. Now he has no real firepower on the board. It's looking very good. And there we go. There's the resignation and the win. 1957 was the score up to. Got another 42 from that. So yeah, that's another good win, I think. I'll see you in a bit.